All right. Ding. This is Nick.
Nick.
Nick and I work together at Hell. I mean, at a bar.
I work for him, more like it.
Yeah. Was that your first bar job?
No, I've worked.
What did you work for?
The live, surf, eat places in Wilmington. So,
Oh, really?
Yeah, like Cape Bueno, the one at the beach.
I don't think I've ever been to one.
Really?
I know they exist. Like, I know they're a place. I just never been.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, it's good beach food.
Yeah.
Like, it's Wilmington food.
It's crazy because the pandemic it's affected Wilmington so much different than Raleigh. I know the last time you've been down there, but they will not let you in a place without a vax card.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. Durham's like that, too. Like,
Really?
They're super strict, yeah. Like, Kirsten's favorite place, I don't even know what it's called. They made it so you have to have a vax card. And
Really?
Yeah.
They did that at Players Retreat on Hillsborough Street. I rolled up. Their bar is like Thursday night. It's like 9:30 at night. I was going in there to get some to-go food, and I roll up, and they're like, I was like, I'll put my mask on. They're like, do you have your vax card? I was like, oh no. I was like, I look inside. I'm like, oh no, you guys you're not gonna make it.
It's not the right crowd.
Like there was no one in there. I think there was all 3 people in there, and like I get where people are coming from with it, but I also like don't understand because people that like work at the bar, you know what I mean? Like I'm super pro-choice. Like go inject horse tranquilizers if that's what you think makes you happy. I don't care what you do, honestly, as long as it doesn't hurt other people or me. You know what I mean? But when a business owner decides that their bar is going to be like that, it affects their whole staff, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they reap the punishment more than anyone else. And like I'm sure there are people that are vaxxed that don't give a fuck that would just do it out of spite, you know? I do a lot of things out of spite.
I know a lot of people that do that.
Like,
and getting like vaxxed, I know a lot of people are doing that.
Yeah.
Not getting vaxxed, doing that out of spite. It's insane just seeing freaking people that like both sides. It's like you're the polar opposites.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for live your life. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really understand COVID as well as some people do, I guess. But my favorite are the people that pretend they do. You know what I mean?
Oh, the Facebook warriors.
Oh,
God,
boy.
dude.
Do you remember when it first started? There were people like spitting on each other.
It was.
Do you remember that shit? Do you remember that?
Dude. Like the most normal, like grandmas went crazy.
Yeah, my grandma went crazy over it.
God,
And then like the best part, I remember there was a solid 6 months where I was like not glued to the TV, but I was so interested to see what Donald Trump was going to say every day. By far my favorite year for politics, and I don't even like politics.
It was so miserable. It was like good.
It was miserable.
Like,
though.
it was like living a reality TV show.
So I live downtown, right? And the crazy thing about there was no one. Like Saturday night, crickets. Yeah. And like you could walk down. Well, you couldn't walk down the street, but I did anyways. Walk my dog and shit. And then like the riots were going on. So then you had a curfew, and I was like, oh boy, like, oh boy. And people blow by you full uniform, like cops and shit, all SWAT geared up. I'm like, well, what am I? This is like war.
Where did I move to?
I think that whole riot and COVID has like changed a lot of gun people. You know what I mean? A lot of people before were like, people don't need guns. You know, why do people need guns?
Yeah.
And now people are like, oh, I get it.
Maybe you can see why. Yeah, especially because there's always like, anti-gun people living in the city.
Yeah.
And I feel like all that stuff happened in the city. They're like, well, it's not as safe as we thought.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer that everyone should at least know how to use a gun, right?
Yeah.
Who's that actor? Just recently shot someone on set.
Oh shoot, Alec Baldwin.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone's like the person that gave him the gun's responsible, but on the other side of that, if that man knew how a gun operated, he would look in that gun and realize there was a bullet in there. You know what I mean? Or at least cleared the chamber. I don't know.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. They have to like clear the chamber because it's the fragments that get in there.
Yeah.
That like make it dangerous.
Some other famous actor got shot like that. He's a ninja guy.
Bruce Lee's son?
Was it his son or was it him?
No, it's Bruce Lee's son.
They got shot.
It was Bruce Lee too.
One of them got shot. It was supposed to be
both of them. Yeah, because I know the one that did The Crow, which was his son.
Mm-hmm.
He died doing that movie. And maybe that's
really?
how Bruce Lee died. Yeah.
That's it. That's his son in The Crow.
Yeah.
The one where he dies and comes back to life because of his girlfriend.
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah,
Ooh, made my hair stand up.
Dude, that's an awesome movie.
It is a badass movie. There's such a cult behind that movie too.
Oh yeah.
Oh, remake. They need to make a remake of that.
No.
You don't
I
think
hate
so?
Remakes.
Have
God,
you
they
seen
had
the
to
new
be done
Dune?
at the what?
Have you seen the new Dune?
Oh, that's great. That's
Oh, okay.
Okay,
I haven't
don't
seen
mind-
it yet, but I heard it's fire.
Oh, okay. I don't want to like set any kind of like precedent or expectation for it, but like just go in there with an open mind and enjoy art.
Yeah,
because that's what it is. It's
so,
a big art show and it's amazing.
I think
you got to see it in IMAX too.
Yeah, and I feel like in our lifetime, movies have gotten so good. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's
like,
incredible.
The best one in the '90s was like Jurassic Park. You know what I mean? And that's when animatronics and
CGI
first met.
Yeah,
and that was cool. And now look at the Marvel movies. You know what I mean?
It's incredible. Once you see Dune, you're going to be like, if we're able to do this on a screen, how have we not solved world hunger or anything else? Like, it's like how it blends with the CGI. It's just incredible.
Yeah, I speaking of world hunger, did you see that fucking Elon Musk shit?
Oh, I loved it.
Oh
man, he will call anybody out,
bro. I feel like he's a robot, man, or an alien. There's no way. There's no way that man is that smart. Like, and you know what? I bet you he would do it too.
Oh no, he 100% would.
100% do it, and I didn't see a rebuttal.
No, because he knows it's all like the inner workings of everything is bullshit.
Yeah,
and they have zero plan. They're like, "Oh, you're rich, just give money." But in actuality, they're just lining their pockets and have their own agenda, and it's
trying to put people against people.
Yeah,
it's wild because I worked on a farm for a while, for like a couple years, and the abundance of food that we threw away, like vegetables. I'm not like saying meat, but like vegetables that we threw away. The amount of food that grocery stores throw away. They only let pretty food in grocery stores. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Anything that looks wrong.
If you get like a crooked carrot, they're like, nope, trash. Yeah. And it's wild to me, you know what I mean? And then like not even like, I don't know, Durham, there are people starving on the side of the road that can't even get into a soup kitchen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like if you go to Vegas, just seeing just how many like just homeless people are on the sides of the roads. You know, all those places have extra food.
Yeah.
Like I worked at Harris Teeter for about a year. In the deli section, and just seeing like how much of the pastries you clean out all the pastries every night, like all the chicken, you know, and throw it all in the trash.
And it's not even bad.
No,
it's just not
they got
fresh.
made that day. Like that's kind of
wild,
like,
man. Yeah. When I was in Oregon, all the food places they all their leftover food, like milk that's expired one day, they put it out front of the store, and you can just pick it up. Loaves of bread. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
The homeless population in Oregon is amazing. It's like a little cult. They have like communities of tents. In fact, Vegas has a whole underground tent scene.
I was reading about that this past week.
Wild,
like, under like the sewer and everything. That's incredible.
And like, you know, sometimes like we go to work, we pay our bills, we live in these nice boxes, if you will, and we're living, you know what I mean? But are we really living? These motherfuckers don't have any bills, you know what I mean? Like
their only worry is just about finding their next food.
Yeah.
They're like the modern day caveman.
Yeah. And they probably work at these nice restaurants, you know what I mean?
Honestly, shit. Just saving all their money. Don't gamble.
I read this book, or I listened to this book just recently. It's called The Minute After, and it's about an EMP that hits the States, and it wipes out everything. Like cars, cell phone, anything electrical is gone. And it's crazy because it only took like 30 days in the book for people to go like nuts and like start like killing each other and stuff. And like I don't think we were too far off on the riots, you know what I mean, during COVID, you know?
Like, yeah, like if they got increasingly worse, I would say it'd take less than 30 days for it to go crazy.
Especially
like 30
days
is
power.
Good. Yeah. Without power.
Power or water. Well, if we lose power, we probably lose water instantly.
Whenever we lost the Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah.
Like people were going crazy over that.
Meltdown.
Like, yeah, if no water, no power, like
no internet. God, it's like the 90s.
Like, some girls' biggest worries are, you know, taking off their makeup.
Yeah.
The day. Like,
they're
ruined. Like, they are ruined. That's the bad thing. Like, we're not actually living. We're just playing doll.
Yeah, no, without a doubt. It's wild, you know, because, like, I don't know, like, I don't know what I'd do if I couldn't work out. Well, I couldn't for, like, 5 or 6 weeks, but it drove me nuts.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's a little different. I feel like cosmetically fixing yourself and then like trying to be healthy. Here I'm smoking cigarettes talking about being healthy, but like, you know, like are two different things, you know what I mean? The amount of fat I put on or just how much I'm out of shape after 5 weeks of not being able to lift is mind-boggling. Plus it fucks up everything, your psyche about eating. Like you don't give a fuck about your diet after that, you know?
Yeah. I feel like working out is so much different than like, you know, cosmetic.
Yeah,
wise. Because like you said, it's a whole mental aspect. Like
straining your body. Like, stress is good, the right stress.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And like my dad goes through addiction, and you see the same tendencies in like when you stop working out, and somebody with addiction, just the whole kind of slump and depression type.
Oh, without a doubt. I feel like working out is almost an addiction. You know what I mean?
It definitely is. How it gives you that dopamine effect, pretty much.
Yeah. I feel like the other side of that is like once you're in shape, it's easier to stay in shape. I was watching this thing on YouTube. It's like Fit to Fat and Back. Have you seen that shit?
I've seen other people do it. I don't think we've seen the same thing.
So it takes like a group of like personal trainers and it makes them take 3 months off and they get all big. And they say it's the hardest thing in their world to get fat and then get back.
I believe that.
Like, because I mean, a push-up is a push-up until you got another 30 pounds on you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, and that's why, like, you know, if you are a bigger person, you shouldn't go to somebody that's, like, you know, always been fit their whole life to get their information from.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I guess, you know, it's weird because the things that... The fitness world is so weird because they tell you 1 year this is good and the next year it's horrible.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
God.
Like...
With exercises and food, it's the worst.
Yeah, you remember when kale was the thing?
Yeah, now it's just like...
Yeah.
It goes in and out cycles. Now it's like lettuce or next it'd be carrots. It's...
Honestly, I feel like chicken and broccoli. Just your staple right there. Chicken, broccoli, and eggs. And then you can just, like, sprinkle in other things.
See, I stopped eating chicken once the pandemic hit.
Really?
I saw how big those chicken breasts were, and they freaked me out.
Really?
Yeah.
You stopped? You don't even eat chicken to this day?
So, if I go to, like, somewhere like Chick-fil-A, I will. Yeah. I don't cook chicken myself. I won't go to, like, a restaurant, sit-down restaurant, and get chicken.
Really?
Like, yeah. Like,
Because of how big they... I don't understand.
So, like, I was always going to Harris Teeter, get their, you know, $1.99 a pound chicken breast. Yeah. And then... Once the pandemic hit, you know, all the shortages and everything, and then they started coming out, and they're getting bigger and bigger, and obviously...
You think they're juicing the chickens?
They were definitely juicing the chickens. And I was like, no, I can't do this anymore. So I went, like, vegetarian there for...
really? No meat?
Almost a year, yeah.
I've heard that's actually a good thing to do, and it's not just because, like, meat... I'm not saying meat's bad for you. I'm just saying the meat that we get might not be the best. Yeah. You know, especially straight out of the grocery store. Or what kills me, have you ever seen the dollar steak at the Dollar Tree?
God, bro. That's just like, the people that eat that, hey, you're not getting COVID. That's all I'm saying. You're not getting COVID. That's the vaccine for you.
Super guilty pleasure of mine's gone now. When I was a kid, I loved the steak, egg, and cheese bagel from McDonald's.
Hey, I'll still do it. I'll still do it to this day.
It's gone. They stopped putting it on there.
Wait, really?
It's not there anymore.
I haven't been there in a minute.
It destroyed my stomach. I mean, I knew it was gonna do it. Yeah, I'd stop every day on the way to high school. Maybe not every day, but most days. And I'd get one of them fuckers, and by second period, I'd just... I'd be sweating bullets.
Teacher's like, you can't have that hall pass anymore.
I don't know what it was. It was so good, dude. I don't even know if it was beef, to be honest. Like...
No, it's definitely not beef. Knowing McDonald's,
yeah,
like, knowing their chicken nuggets, no, they can't.
So I saw a thing about that. They're actually really healthy for you, other than the fried. They're healthier than you think. Like a chicken nugget at McDonald's is better than their salad.
I believe that.
Isn't that wild? Like,
yeah.
Like, but then it goes to, like, the health thing again.
What is healthy? Because I was actually watching a video and this woman took a McDouble versus, I think it's like Mr. Larry's or something cookie, the protein cookie, and went through all the ingredients versus the protein and everything, and actually the McDouble was healthier.
Yeah.
You know? So,
is it just the meat or is it the bread too? Because you take...
It was cheese too.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
No doubt.
It had like a little bit less calories. I had like 1 more gram of protein, less fat.
I feel like they're designed to do different things though.
Yeah, and that's when you get like to the whole biological or not biological, the underlining of what like each ingredient is. And...
Like you could probably live off of McDoubles. You probably couldn't live off the cookie, the complete cookie.
No.
Well, maybe. I don't know. If it has protein in it, like...
I guess your body can really survive off anything.
Do you remember maybe 10 years ago they made a documentary, was it Super Size Me?
Oh, yeah.
The guy that ate McDonald's every day for 30 days, and he ended up going to the hospital because he was, like, dying. Like,
yeah.
But then, you know, like, people like fucking Blake that we work with literally eats McDonald's he looks fine. He's probably not healthy, but...
He's, like, one of the skinniest guys we have at the bar.
Yeah, it's like, probably the only thing he eats all week.
I don't know. That's one thing weird about the body. Like, if you start young, I feel like, and get your whole bacteria and gut everything going along with it, then it'll just take the nutrients it gets. Yeah. It's like those 600-pound sisters. Mm-hmm. They drink a liter of soda every day with who knows what else. Like, to be 600 pounds, God.
I don't think I could. I think I would have to try, but I don't think I could drink a liter of soda a day.
No, I would feel horrible. Like, I could do it. But the next day, like, it'd be like a hangover.
Yeah. If I drink too many Red Bulls, I feel like shit the next day.
If I drink 2, I'm
like, I shit blood after a while after I eat them, and like that's not good. It's definitely not good. So I think I have an ulcer. I'm not a doctor. I don't know. I'm probably dying of cancer.
Hey, if you look up WikiLeaks.
But I think every time I have too much sugar, it like makes it bleed, and that's why it happens, or like a hemorrhoid. I mean, I am that age. I'm old now.
As he picks up the cigarette, puts it to his mouth.
So, look, I just quit drinking. I'm 10 days in, and I wasn't drinking every day before this. I was probably drinking at least twice a week, though. You know what I mean? Maybe not, like, getting trashed, but it was, like, a thing. A
decent amount.
You know what I mean? Like, I'd sit down after work. You know, maybe not after work, but, like, during work. No, just kidding. Or whatever. Like, I'd sit down with my girlfriend. She'd have a glass of wine. I have a couple beers. I wouldn't think anything of it until I went to Universal Studios. Then I was like sport drinking. Oh, you know what I mean? Because I was on fucking vacation. Like, I woke up. I was like coffee and a shot of Jameson. Yeah. But after a week of that, I felt like so much shit. That's what I think was like my final straw about like I need to chill for a little bit. I'd like to do 90 days, but during the winter is like when my favorite kind of beer comes out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I feel like it's tough, like around the holidays, around the family.
You don't really drink.
Me?
Yeah.
I'll go months on end without drinking.
I think I've seen you drunk 3 times.
Yeah.
And yeah, I could probably name all 3 times. Like one when you were at the bar, one when we went out, and maybe one when you came to the bar without me.
I got all my junk out in college.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that's another thing that college does to you, though. Like, when you drink in college, either it becomes a part of your life or it burns you to a point where you don't want it anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I still love it, but like I'm the type of guy that would love cocaine. That's why I've never done it.
You've never done cocaine?
No. Like,
when you hit like 80 years old and you're like, I need to live a little bit.
You hit me up.
I think the first time I did cocaine, I was hanging out with a whole bunch of strippers. Fucking shocker. My cousin stripped, and back in the day, my cousin was fucking hot, and she was good at fucking pole dancing. She wasn't just like a whore; she was a whore with skills.
Is she your first cousin?
She's my first cousin. I mean, it's. I picked her up every night. She didn't have a car from the strip club.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I was the Uber. It was $100 to pick her up. I got off at work at 2 a.m. anyways. The fuck doesn't matter. So I started hanging around her stripper friends, which were also whores. And they're great. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not related to them. But they party. And, like, to see, like, I don't know if they make this money now, but I would watch them in a weekend make, like, the most I've ever seen them make was, like, 5 Gs. And this is in Raleigh. This isn't Vegas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is in Raleigh. One girl, she met this guy, he flew her to Florida, they made some porn, and she came back loaded.
Yeah, you can make some loaded porn.
You know, the industry, they say that girls, you know, don't have a fair thing. I'll tell you what, if I was a pretty girl, I would have been a whore from ages, like, 19 to, like, 30. I would have had all of my money stacked. You know what I mean? Alright, if you made $5,000 a weekend, we'll just say if you made $3,000 in 2 days, and 52 weeks a year, what is that? 1,500,000? No. 5 times 2
days
is 100,000, right?
Yeah.
3, like almost 50. Yeah, 15 grand untaxed a year, not on paper, for fucking 10 years, buddy. We'll say you have to live off of like 30 grand a year. You're still, you know what I mean? If you hadn't made some investment, you had a problem, you know.
And you'd probably go hit the bigger, you know, videos and shit.
Oh yeah.
See you from here.
Oh yeah. Fuck, man. Like, I don't hate them for it. You know what I mean?
No.
It's crazy though. I think there's actually more money in gay porn.
Oh, 100%.
But like,
because nobody wants to do it.
Yeah.
A lot of the guys are straight.
Yeah, 100%. But like, you have to be a good-looking guy. They would never take me in gay porn. I'm hairy. I'm hairy.
You never know. There's always categories for
I
that.
couldn't be a twink. I couldn't look at a dick and be like, yo, let me suck that. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh. I'd probably start laughing mid blowjob.
I couldn't take this serious. Like, what the fuck am I doing? Just walk out butt naked. Don't even get my clothes.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I actually know another chick I used to work with who she's got like 3 sugar daddies and that she's an Instagram model. And she doesn't have a job. I can't remember. The last time she had a job was when she worked with me, and that was like 7 years ago. And she drives a Mercedes, like a nice Mercedes too. And I'm blown away. Like
that sugar daddy thing is wild. We knew this girl in Wilmington. She had one. He was a doctor at in Greenville.
Yeah.
Just had nobody, and they had met on Instagram, and he ended up putting down the whatever you call it for the loan for her house.
Yeah.
The 20% for her house.
The down payment.
Yeah. For her house, so she could have that. Would order the groceries online, get it shipped to the house. Like it was insane how much shit.
Here's the thing.
Nothing.
Even if say you're a decent looking guy with no personality, right? So you really don't have swag with girls, and you make it financially. Mm-hmm. What do you really do? You know what I mean? I guess you buy girls. You know what I mean?
Play video games and buy attention. Because that's pretty much all it is. It's never usually like sexual acts. Sometimes it might be, but
there's like 2 sides of that coin, though. You know what I mean? Like when you're rich and you get a girlfriend, you never know if she loves you, especially if you have a poor girlfriend. You know what I mean? You'd be like, oh.
You gotta find them poor.
Yeah, or you have to pretend you're poor. They're like I guess Keanu Reeves. He rides like the subway and the bus, and he's pretty wealthy, I imagine.
He's definitely.
Shia LaBeouf is really big on that too.
Yeah, I love Shia LaBeouf.
Have you ever seen that thing where he's like, I'm not famous anymore?
Yeah, mask over or the bag. Yeah.
Do you think he lost it?
I don't know what goes through his head. Because, like...
He thinks differently.
He definitely does. He's got that artist kind of thinking, I feel like. And then, of course, you get the whole news that blows it up. It's like, you got Lady Gaga over here wearing a whole meat dress to the Grammys. And yet he wears a mask that says, I'm not famous anymore. Yeah. It's like, he's insane.
And then he just got all those tattoos done.
Yeah.
I imagine that was thousands of dollars worth of ink. For a movie.
Easy. Yeah, just for a movie. Just for that one Netflix movie.
Yeah.
And then... I know for the war movie he was in, he had a tooth pulled.
Really?
Yeah. Tooth pulled out. He went to preschool and worked out with the Navy SEALs, all for that one movie.
Really?
Yeah. Like, man is awesome for his, like, art.
What's the war movie called?
It's the one with the tanks.
I did see that.
I can't where he, like... Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
The Punisher guy.
And he one of them hides underneath the tank at the very end.
Yeah.
Yes, I did see that. I didn't know he had a tooth pulled for that.
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah. Man is dedicated. I love it.
No shit. Good for him though. Like I feel like if that's your job, that's your job. If you're an actor, you're an actor. And it's funny because like people take the opinions of like artists very far. Like for instance, like if I tweet on Twitter. On the tweeter tomorrow. If I tweet something like, Jesus was black, no one's gonna give a fuck, right? But if like Kanye West does, that's gonna get like 1 billion likes tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's gonna start Facebook groups on it.
Yeah,
it's gonna get a whole cult following.
Yeah, or Reddit.
Gosh.
Oh.
Yeah, and especially during COVID, that really came out into play too. Mm-hmm. And people still are like lingering on the words they say.
Mm-hmm.
Like that would suck. Literally, you can't say anything without.
Were you ever like a metal fan or like heavy rock fan?
No, not really.
They did this show on Octane. That's how old I am. Octane was like.
I don't even know what that is.
Alright, so it was like MTV, but it was just metal. Okay. It was like when I grew up. It was on my buddy's. So I was poor growing up, super poor. And I used to go to my buddy's house before school to watch. I'd be there like 5 in the morning. Like, hey, you up yet, buddy?
There's a PBS channel. That's it. It
sucked. But they had this thing, and I feel like it might not be a thing anymore. I think it's called "Shut Up and Play Your Guitar," and it would go through like everything all these like rock musicians say that was just like irrelevant. And it was just like, yeah, that's cool. You believe that? Now, could you make another banger? Like, I respect. Musicians and artists are cool. I have a lot more feeling for people that play sports. because the strain they put on their body. Like a lot of not like all pro athletes. Like there are some fucksticks out there. There's a guy just recently, he got in his car drunk and like killed a lady and her dog. You hear about this? It was some football player.
Oh wait, just recently?
Just
the
recently.
Raiders, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he nailed someone doing like
150.
Like, yeah.
150.
Like double the
like,
game. What?
in the city. It's not even like in the highway.
Yeah, or country roads. Like what? I was about to say, like, what goes through your mind? But I guess it was the airbag.
Jesus. You won't be seeing him.
You played sports a lot, right?
Yeah.
Mostly?
Yeah.
What'd you play?
So I always played baseball.
The whole life?
Yeah. So I played all the way till college. I did track, I did swimming. Fuck swimming.
Yeah, is swimming bad?
It's just like I'm like competitively good at everything except swimming.
Yeah.
Like if you know how to swim and you're 250, you know, fat as fuck, you can still beat me.
Really?
Like, yeah, it's an art in itself. Like props to Michael Phelps. And,
yeah, well, I feel like there are certain people that are designed. They have like long arms and like long feet.
Oh yeah, their lats, you know, a little different. They got bigger feet. Yeah.
I actually got a guy in my condo that lives in the same condos as I do. He was an Olympic swimmer. And he's like 6'3", and I saw pictures of him when he was younger, and he's like, I mean, just like stretched out, like huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was never good at swimming. I was a lifeguard for a while.
Not good at swimming, but he'll try to save
So
somebody's life.
this is the crazy thing about being a lifeguard, right? You're better off drinking beer and being a lifeguard than trying to be the beach, like being like Baywatch. And I'll explain this because I was like -5% body fat. Like I was just, I mean, I might not have been huge, but I was just chiseled and there wasn't any fat on me. I watched everything I ate. But I'd jump in the water and I'd sink like a brick, bro.
I know.
And it was just like, like
what am I going to do out there?
And then I remember I was going through class and they were saying like, if you can't, so if they take you through first aid, AED, the defibrillator, the thing that shocks you, it's AED, I think, right?
I don't know. I didn't know it was a term for it.
And CPR, and then they take you, like you dive down 10 feet and then you have to swim 500 yards. That 500 yards was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
Oh, I bet.
And, they were telling me, they were like, if someone's flailing and you're trying to save them, you just knock them out. And I was like, oh, this is
this is easy job. I can do that.
I mean, this is almost being a cop, right? Yo, you're drowning?
Just trying to save your life.
Yeah, I'm just trying to help you. Serve and protect.
Shoot, I wish cops would just use their fists.
Yeah. Oh. That's wild. What'd you play in baseball?
Outfield.
Outfield?
Oh, yeah, I'm really fast. Like, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, you said you could run a 4.40.
Yeah.
I cannot.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of people can.
I got my mile under 7 minutes once in my life. I could probably still do it. But, like, yeah, that's it, bro.
Oh, wow. So I used to run the mile, too. Back in middle school, I was actually, like, really
You
good.
did track?
Yeah.
Will you do cross country?
No. Screw that long distance running.
So, I was never, like, the mile thing, like, never was good for me, but I could run a long distance. I didn't like to do it, but after a while, like, things just started feeling different. Like, after, like, the first mile or two, like, I just started, like, getting tingly. And, like, it's not like I'm running.
Okay, yeah.
I think they call it a runner's high.
Oh, that's one of the best things, honestly.
Yeah.
I've gotten that a few times, and you feel great after it.
Until the next day where you're all like, oh.
You can, like, barely walk because your calves are just screaming.
You ever see, like, triathlons at the end where they're, like they're, like, locking up? You ever seen that shit? Like, and, like, everyone's running past them.
That's so bad. They're, like, so close to the finish line, and they can't move.
My favorite is, like, the lady that falls over and shits herself. And, like, I know it's horrible to laugh at it, but it's kind of like you did that to yourself.
You're like, you're putting your body through this.
Yeah, I said
Apparently
stress
that
is
happens
good.
all the time.
Yeah, it does.
They just shit themselves. Like,
yeah,
here you go.
And they just keep running.
Yeah, it's like they don't stop. Like, if you stop, it's like your body goes to rigor mortis.
Yeah. And then the biking thing, like Tour de France.
Yeah.
I was listening to this guy talk about it the other day, and you ever see those bikes that you lay back in and you pedal? They said that those bikes are actually faster than the bikes in Tour de France. And if you were to use one of those bikes, like the same person that would use the upright bike, you would smoke everybody.
Oh yeah, I bet it, like, the aerodynamics of it.
And your muscles are different. You're pushing forward.
Yeah.
All I'm trying to say is, like, maybe we need to up the Tour de France. You know what I mean?
Just show up there. There's 2 bikes.
Yeah. What about, there was a girl this past year that tried to get on, like, the news and, like, held a sign out. And, like,
oh, dude.
And
she crashed. One person hit, like 50 people.
Yeah. Those bike wrecks are gnarly, dude. That's trust, man. When you're, like, 45 miles an hour with a tire
behind somebody.
Fuck, would you bike? Would you do that?
If I'm in the moment, yeah.
Yeah?
Fuck it, yeah.
Yeah, fuck it?
Yeah.
Is there a sport you would never play?
No, I don't think so.
Would you bullfight?
Bullfight?
Give him the chance. Say we're like
riding a bull?
No, it's like the Toro shit.
No, that's horrible to the bulls.
Well, they kill them at the end, but I'm saying like I think they eat them. Actually.
Yeah. Okay. No, I wouldn't do that.
You wouldn't. But if they didn't kill the bull at the end, would you try to bullfight?
Nah, fuck that.
No, bullfighting's out. Would you run with the bulls?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah,
I think that's awesome.
I think that's cool too.
People would die.
Yeah, people get fucked up doing that. I know this for sure though. Like, if I had that on my life goals, like bucket list, I would train for that.
Oh, yeah, no.
I would not just go there with a buzz. You know what I mean?
I'm waking up that morning, getting coffee, stretching.
Yeah. like, oh, I know this is bad for me. Like sucking down C4. Like,
just watching those people come down that Spain alleyway and then just seeing that bull behind them, like...
Yeah, that's like, they don't care. There's no, like, really, and like, the bulls don't care, obviously.
No,
you know what I mean?
No. God. Have you seen, they do it in, like, Ireland or Scotland, where they roll the cheese down this hill?
And they're all fucking,
that's just fucking running. I may not do that. I'm walking away with one
I don't know if that's a sport, though.
I mean, it's a competition. Whoever gets the cheese wins.
Yeah. Does anyone ever get the cheese?
Yeah. So whoever gets to the bottom first gets the cheese.
Really?
Yeah.
You know, like,
insane.
A wheel of cheese like that costs like $500.
Oh, it's expensive.
Yeah.
I know they're not using a cheap cheese.
Oh, God, no. You're not running that.
No.
What about motorsports? Would you ever get into that?
I've never been on, like, I've been on a four-wheeler, but I've never been on a dirt bike or anything.
You ever get, like, a little, like, crazy in your car? Everyone gets a little crazy in their car.
I mean, I jumped some train tracks. Busting my exhaust.
But you've never been like, I want to go on like an autocross track and like swerve.
No, I think it would be really cool. I would definitely do dirt bike.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I did a lot of that growing up. It's so bad on your bike. Like my knees.
Really?
Oh yeah. It's weird because the things you think you fuck yourself up on a dirt bike or not. Like people are like, oh, you're gonna break your neck. Well, that does happen. But like you're always like your knees are always bent. And you're always using them as shocks.
Yeah.
So if like next time I squat down, just listen. Like my knees go. Like, I know they're done. Like, I'm 32.
You're only 32.
Fuck.
Not even halfway.
The fucked up thing is my grandma, fucking 300-pound bitch. Oh, sorry, Grandma. She just got new knees 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Right? Brand new knees. And they work great.
Yeah.
And she's 300 pounds. If I was 300 pounds, my knees would not do it.
No, they would not hold you.
Not at all.
Like, you would be sitting in a chair.
And, you know, so we were talking about, like, how far like CGI has gotten, you know, like think about how far medically advanced we are now. You know what I mean? There's no reason that anyone should be in pain in this day.
No, not at all.
It should be free to fix.
Yeah, I definitely think there's some like elements like diabetes or something like, you know, you really can't help. That should be like the price of insulin in the U.S. is
ridiculous.
Ridiculous. Like people are going without it.
And she was telling me that it's like she was so poor at one time she was getting like some underground insulin and almost killed her a couple times.
Yeah, and it was just like that's insane.
Yeah,
like
I feel like there are two types of diabetes. Like the ones you get older when you drink a lot of sugar. You know what I mean, and the ones that you're born with.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And I feel like one of the biggest problems. I don't know how it is in other countries. I can definitely just speak from what I see around me. Is like when you go out to eat, kids order soda for you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like they're like, oh, I'll do chicken nuggets and a soda. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, when I was a kid, my mom never let me have soda.
Yeah.
I don't think I had
the same way.
soda until I was like 10.
It's like a special treatment.
Yeah. And now look at me. I'm fucking like I've said this. I'm gonna make a fucking T-shirt that says this. If it ever came to like, a bottle. Like the last bottle of cream soda or save all of humanity.
Jesus.
Everyone is fucked, bro. Like, bye.
Cream soda?
Oh, that's man. Good. Have you ever had cream soda?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like, I'm a huge fan of root beer.
Yeah.
That would be mine, but like, cream soda?
Yeah, cream. If you ever go to Universal Studios or fucking Butterbeer.
Oh yeah, I do want to try that.
Oh, it's
yeah.
You can get it at Harris Teeter, but it's nowhere near the same.
No.
But I don't know. But like, I digress. Like, the way that we're brought up, we're eating Dunkaroos and Lunchables that have candy in them and Capri Sun. You know what I mean? Which realistically, we should be drinking water.
Just 100% water. Maybe something with electrolytes.
Like,
but it's, you know, I wish I could say like, oh, type 2 diabetes is your fault. Like, you know, but then you go and look at, hey, you can buy this Happy Meal for $1, or you can, you know, buy some healthy food for $10. And it's like, you know, so you give them to like the poorest people, which are mostly the people that have diabetes type 2. And then also the school lunches, they're absolute shit. They're not healthy for
and you got to pay for them.
Exactly.
And if you're not poor enough to qualify for a lunch number, you don't eat lunch. What is that? What are you teaching that kid? You're teaching if you don't have money, you die.
That sucks. Sorry, you don't get to eat. And then you go to health class. You're like, yeah, follow this, you know, bullshit pyramid that they made.
Yeah,
you know,
which is horseshit. Yeah, because they say like the very bottom was supposed to be like wheat.
Oh, you're supposed to eat all these grains and carbs and everything. And
then no.
Like, have a huge amount for dairy and cheese. Like,
what if you're lactose intolerant?
Exactly. Like, the whole pyramid's collapsing on you. Like, that sucks.
I wonder if they still use that. There's no way they still use that.
They have something different now, but I'm sure it's probably changed.
When realistically, like, the bottom of, like, the pyramid should probably be, like, vegetables. Yeah. I would imagine. Vegetables and protein of some sort.
And protein was always small. Like, I never realized how big a protein played in your life until right before I got out of college.
Yeah.
Like, growing up and, like, working out as much as I did, I was like, oh, why are you guys drinking protein shakes?
Yeah.
Like, you know, they make you shit. Like,
yeah. They make your shit hard as rock.
Yeah, but now I'm like, I need protein literally after every meal.
Well, it's crazy. Like, I do it a little differently when I go to the gym. Is when I first wake up, I just protein and oats. And that's my pre-workout. And that way, when I'm done working out, I'm not as hungry, and I can still put some eggs in there too. You know what I mean? So I'll eat like 2 breakfasts, multi-breakfast. I don't know if that's a word.
Fishies.
Second breakfast. But I think it's weird. You know what I mean? And like, it took our generation. Because you're probably in your mid to late 20s, right?
Yeah.
Our generation had to grow up with the internet, that everything is like at our fingertips. And we were just listening to what they told us.
Yeah.
And this whole they thing was completely wrong.
They didn't even fucking know what they were doing.
Right?
Like, and even now, like, somebody who really, you know, advocates themselves to working out and eating right, it's still hard. Like, should I be eating this? Like, you know, say I eat a lot of vegetables, but then, all those vegetables, you know, they got pesticides and everything on them.
Yeah.
And, like,
well, so the crazy thing, like, so when I worked on a farm, it was really weird because I grew a whole bunch of weed, so I was useless pretty much. But the farms around me, there was like orchards and lots of wine vineyards. We got a goat from our neighbor, Willie the Billy. I fed that fucking goat all fucking summer, and then we killed him and we put him in the cooler, and the cooler lost power, and he fucking spoiled. So Willie, so depressed. We got one leg off that goat to eat, and the rest of them died, like spoiled, and. Bro, that goat stunk when it was alive, man. But I tell you, I opened it.
Did you puke?
Bro, I opened it like.
Yeah, that's one of the worst smells. Just
like dead things stink, but when you like contaminate or contain them in a box,
I can't.
It was bad. But it was weird because like everything I ate in Oregon came within probably from 10-mile radius.
See, that's awesome.
You know what I mean? And it is kind of cool, but like we were talking about the breasts, the chickens aren't big. The eggs are, so this is what creeped me out. The eggs yolk are like orange or like just a little bit of blood in them because they're not like the eggs that we get are just, you know, banged out. Like they're like milking chickens.
That's so bad. Like chickens are supposed to have like, 10 eggs a year.
Yeah. No, they're supposed to have more than that, but like definitely not as many as not 10,000. No. I will agree between 10 and 10,000. You ever drive by like a fucking chicken farm or a turkey farm?
I don't.
They smell.
Oh, dude, they are compacted.
Yeah.
I've seen like the turkeys. I've seen chickens.
It's wild, you know. But I also think there are two sides to every sword. You know what I mean? Like, we do possess the technology to make the animals that we have healthier for us to eat. But on the other side of that, are we making them healthier or are we pumping them full of steroids? You know what I mean? Like,
it's really going on them.
Yeah. maybe a little bit's evolution. Some people don't believe in evolution. I don't.
Some people, too many people.
They're in the same boat as flat earthers. I won't say that evolution is or isn't real, but I will say that you change. You know what I mean? People evolve. Whether we came from a snail or a little fish thing that turned into a ferret, maybe not. I can't go back and prove it or disprove it. I wouldn't be surprised either way, right? But I am going to say this: we don't need our appendix anymore.
Oh yeah, you don't need your wisdom teeth.
Yeah, we don't need our wisdom teeth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
I think there's enough evidence to prove, like, I mean, Darwin was able to prove it. You know, just being on an island and be able to tell.
The
like,
birds.
The birds, yeah. Like, it's real. Now, what does that go back to? I mean...
Yeah, did that bird start from a dolphin, though?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, how far are you going to chase that rabbit hole down? You know, you ever heard of the stoned ape theory?
What's that?
Alright, so we're a whole bunch of, like, monkeys, if you will, you know what I mean, swinging in the trees, and one day a monkey came down and ate a poisonous mushroom, and he tripped, and then he got consciousness. In a nutshell, that's the stoned ape theory.
Okay.
And the other monkey was like, oh, and then they started having thoughts, you know what I mean? Even, like, if you look at gorillas and monkeys, they're fucking smart.
Yeah.
And I feel like in the world of, like, primates and stuff, you're either, even humans, you're either very smart or you're very strong, or you don't survive. Unfortunately, we've built this community where you can survive being stupid and weak.
Natural selection is not at its
finest. Yeah, you know, we should start taking the warning labels off of shit for like 5 years. I had a chainsaw. It might even be in here. It had, on the bar of it, it says, "Do not stop blade, or do not stop chain with genitals." Did I tell you this?
No.
It says, "Do not stop blade with genitals." And I was like, when I first read it, I was like, oh, haha, it's fake. But it's on there. I'm like, oh, shit. Who sued?
Somebody had to. Like, there's a reason it's there. There's a reason it's there, and somebody had to. And it's the worst. Like, so you got to really ask yourselves, like, that's why we need more technology.
Yeah. I think, I disagree. I think we need less technology. I think what we should do is we'll, like, let you live the first 20 years of your life in, like Australia with no electricity. And if you made it through running away from lions and shit, I guess there's no lions, alligators and snakes, everything. Yeah, planets. If you can make it through there, you're smart enough to make it in society.
Yeah.
I know this sounds fucked up, but like there are like people in this world, I've said this at least a million times, that we should just go ahead and kill. Child molesters, fuck them. They're dead. They're just dead to me. People that are like abusive to animals for no reason. Like if you abuse your animal because it shits on the floor and you like rub its nose in it and like that's what you want to call abuse, I think that's a little bit more tolerable than like you like taking like a dog and just ripping off its ears and tying it around its neck. Yeah. Just kill him. Just fucking kill him. What are we doing? What are we doing? Like, you know what I mean? If I had a daughter and someone raped her, are you joking me?
Yeah, no, 100%. But at the very least, like, don't let them have kids. Don't let them have offspring, because how much of this is genetics? You know, that really affects the mind. Or
like even better, maybe that wouldn't have been triggered in their genetics if they weren't brought up a certain way. You know what I mean? Like they already had the genetic. Like say like maybe they came from like billions of years ago, a tribe that had to be aggressive to kill the giant monkeys. You know what I mean? Like apes, and they were like, oh, you know, fierce, strong man, you survive monkeys, but now that doesn't exist anymore. There's not enough threats in this world, you know what I mean? And our threats are, I think, blown out of proportion. Like COVID.
Oh, yeah.
COVID, people are dying from COVID. I'm like, yes, I know that's a problem. I understand that people should wear masks and get vaccinated. I get all of that. But do you also understand that a lot of these people that are dying from COVID are dying anyways? You know what I mean? Like, they're obese. They're, you know what I mean? I don't know.
No, I agree there. Like, there's not enough threats. We've become that, mediocre kind of human race. I feel like that's why we need technology, but then we also are creating, like, super bugs.
Yeah.
That can really fuck us up.
My teacher used to talk about that, and he said, like, like the bleach that kills 99.9% of everything, well, that 1%, or that 0.1% lives and gets stronger, and then eventually... I don't know if COVID's a good example of that, but...
Well, I mean, you could see it. I mean, how it evolved to, like, the Delta variant.
Yeah.
And granted, it's not...
God, is that evolution?
Yeah, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
That's evolution
Yeah.
right there
there.
for your eyes, yeah. And how it evolves, you know, and bacteria
Pokemon.
and viruses, they evolve very quickly. And
Yeah.
so it's, you know, what's kind of next on the horizon. And
Yeah, I don't. A lot of people are not reproducing, and I'm very happy
Yeah.
to see that. You know what I mean? And I think it's time. You ever see Idiocracy?
unfortunately, we're
That
that
is
way. Like,
that's what I feel like the early 2000s were, like 2010. Like that's where that started happening. You know what I mean?
yeah, like it started a chain reaction, and,
And
like,
like now, I don't know, man. I have working in a bar. I don't have a lot of hope for our future generation.
we are definitely on the like worst timeline.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, what really
Other
sucks
than being dead.
is we have all these young people that have no guidance, and then the people that are trying to give them guidance are in their like 90s. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Pelosi. I'm not trying to get political, but I'm just saying like all the people that are in charge of this country right now are so out of touch of what's happening with our younger generation. Even I feel like I'm young until I hang out with someone that's like 20 years old, and then I'm like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I forgot. I remember.
It's a lot different.
No.
And now, I mean, we've had back-to-back presidents that are in their 70s. And, I mean,
What was the youngest president? How old was Bush?
Bush?
Bush had
he
to
was in
be-
his 50s, wasn't he?
Yeah, JFK was young.
Yeah, I mean, last really young, I mean, it was probably Ford.
How old was Ford?
He was very young.
The requirements to be president are very odd.
He was 32.
32 or older. You had like some kind of military background, I think, isn't it?
No, you don't have to.
Yeah. I almost feel like that should be required.
Military?
Like not like, yes, like military, because I feel like for you to understand what is going on for what you're sending troops to do, you should probably be in the military a little bit. You know what I mean?
No, I definitely think that. Or at least, I mean,
Or
being
just a
commander-in-chief.
scientist. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wonder what their degrees are like.
Who?
Like any of
presidents?
them. Yeah.
A lot of them are law degrees.
Yeah.
I think I was actually listening to an audiobook talking about the past presidents and how majority of them went to Harvard, Oxford, just all the Ivy schools.
Mm-hmm.
Like only one in the past like 50 years had not been to an Ivy League school because they were talking about how college is, you know, it's kind of a scam with these Ivy League schools.
Yeah.
But, you know.
I think it's more about the connections you make in them.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of like Skull and Bones?
Mm.
So Skull and Bones, I don't know how true this is. It's like a secret society inside these Ivy League schools, and they like they you get hazed, if you will, and then like you part of this new world order. You can ask Blake; he goes really deep into it. Does it exist? Yes. What's it about? No one knows. The closest anyone's gotten into knowing about it is Alex Jones, back in like the early '90s. Get a load of this. He snuck into one of their seances, right? You can find the video. It's fucking weird. And these are like senators and like they're watching like fake sacrifices on stage, and it's like, bro. And like people say that they have like glass coffins that everyone like jerks off on and stuff. I don't know if that's the case, but the fact Alex Jones is nuts.
Yeah.
But the fact that he got in like that,
He says a lot of absurd shit, but like half of that absurd shit
comes
has
out being like true.
True. Yeah, like I don't like the guy, but then I also like the guy.
Yeah.
Like I can't tell if, you know,
It's weird. So when I was in Oregon, I was on the farm with this guy named Dubs. One day, Dubs, you'll be on this show. Super interesting guy. He actually knows Alex Jones personally, right? And would drink whiskey with him. And he's like, guy's nuts. Fucking hilarious. Guy's nuts. Or he claims to know. I don't know. You know what I mean? I would like to hear Alex Jones face to face. I've watched him on Joe Rogan, but he does such a good job of talking over everybody. You know what I mean?
He's the loudest guy in the room.
100%. You know what I mean? And people listen to him, and they don't always pull the good parts of what he's saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I say some really fucked up shit. Could you imagine if everyone took me at face value?
Exactly. Like what's real, you know?
Yeah.
What's he's actually trying to tell you? Because there are a lot of shit like that with the whole Freemason shit that you're part of, and
so there's like 3 Masonic lodges. My like 3 grandpas ago was a Mason, a Freemason. He was like a Northern Star, whatever. I don't know, dude. And like, mom still got his rings and shit, and like it's crazy. But it's like now you can go online and sign up to be a Freemason.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's wild. I don't think it is what it is. I think the closest thing we have to it now is like a union.
I think it's deeper than what it is.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's weird. There's a lot of conspiracy theories about it.
Yeah. You'd be dumb to think that the richer people in this country do not have an organization between themselves.
Exactly.
That if anything were to happen, I think they even have a fucking bug out plan for a zombie apocalypse.
I would believe it.
I mean,
like, the way you have lobbyists and everything, like, they have a whole agenda about things and are working with.
They have a bug out plan for a zombie apocalypse, but they couldn't stop a mob of people walking into the Capitol. Literally walking into the Capitol.
Oh God, I don't even know what that was.
That was
like
was great. And I'm not saying it's great in any kind of political way. Dude, the guy with the painted face.
Oh my God, with the barbarian type looking guy.
Yeah, he just got sentenced to like 3 years in jail. Bro, I'm going to say this right now. Fucking hunt me down and arrest me, bro. If I could be that guy, one picture behind a podium wearing that, fucking A, bro. That'd be my fucking Facebook picture forever, dude. Can you imagine talking to him at the bar?
I'm that guy. God, going to the work the next day, just...
Oh, I saw you! Yeah!
That's me. Podium. Sitting in Pelosi's desk.
Yeah, feet kicked up.
Man. I thought it was funny seeing the videos of like some of the guys trying to get on planes and stuff, and they're like, "Oh no, you're red flagged. Like, you can't fly now." And they're like freaking out. It's like you gotta be some kind of
like what do you mean I can't get on this plane?
God.
The other side of all that is, if you're gonna do it right. You should have burned down the fucking Capitol. Like
something.
Like I was excited about the riots. I think they just did a really poor job of it. You know what I mean? Like they
left no statement.
No,
there's zero statement.
They fucking burned down CVS and local bars. They should have burned down the fucking the IRS building. That's what they should have burnt down.
Honestly,
they should have
destroy everybody's freaking. It's all computerized, but
what are you doing? Like burn down something you want to destroy taxes.
No, you want to go sit behind a podium and put a feet up on a desk. Like, God.
Speaking of fucking wild shit, you see that concert that just happened?
Oh, yeah. Travis Scott. Yeah.
And all those people died?
Yeah, there's so much stuff going on about that.
Like, I've been to lots of festivals, you know what I mean? Like, lots of metal shows. I've never been ever threatened about feeling like I was going to die. I think I've seen one person get, like faint, and I've seen, like, 4 or 5 people get, like, knocked out in a mosh pit. But I feel like a mosh pit's different.
Yeah.
These are just people standing.
Crazy. Granted, they did say it was like 50,000 people.
Yeah.
And I've been to one of his concerts at PNC. And I had a box, so we were in the box before everybody got there. And then, because everybody was on the floor, you see all the people running out and stuff. It was pretty crazy, but like, thinking like people falling, like there's a fire and just not stopping to help anybody.
I don't know. They should have shut down the show.
Yeah.
Right? After the first person died, they probably should have shut down the show.
Like, it was insane. But they did say, okay, so I don't know what's real, what's not.
Yeah.
They did say some of the people had like injection marks in their neck. And there were like videos of them like seizing up.
Yeah.
And not really like, getting
You think someone's going around like...
Yeah, putting fentanyl in them. And that's what they were saying. I don't know how true that is, but that would be...
You'll never know the truth. No one will ever know the truth. And that's what's so fucked up about our media today is, like, you'll never know the truth. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's wild that we know that the media lies to us.
And we still listen to it?
And without a doubt, you know what I mean? They don't ever cover anything worth a fuck. You know what I mean? Like,
it's only bad stuff. Like, if you listen to the news, you're probably going to walk away depressed.
Yeah. Like, it's wild, you know what I mean? And it's... They fight about the same stuff for like 5 days in a row. And it's like, bro, there are so much more things going on in the world today than this, you know?
It's just a viewing game.
Yeah. Reality TV is like that to me, too.
God, I hate reality TV.
You know?
I can't do it.
Would you ever go on a reality show?
100%. I would create chaos. Like, absolute chaos. Like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Or be at a dinner scene and next thing I'd just pass out on my food.
Like, just stay passed out.
Sorry, drugs again. They all think I'm a druggie.
Pretend you have an accent the whole time.
Oh, I thought about doing a British accent the whole time.
Yeah.
Just
You have a good British accent?
Absolutely not. I'd be fake as shit. Like, you're not British at all. Like, crocky, mate.
It's Australian.
Absolute chaos. Like, who is this fucking dude?
Oh. Yeah, I think I would. I guess they get paid quite a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's, even if they don't get paid off the show, you get, you know, all your product placements. You get all the, you know, your magazine covers.
Yeah, look at Snooki for, like, ever.
Yeah.
South Park appearances. Yeah.
It's just, like, once you do that, granted your life's in a camera lens, but, like, you make pretty decent money for the rest of your life.
I don't think I do anything fucked up enough to be embarrassed on anything like, TV. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I would feel like if I got famous, people would have some very heavily opinions made about me.
Oh, 100%.
You know what I mean? But I feel like it doesn't matter who you are.
No.
You know what I mean? You could be an innocent church girl, you know, and be famous, and everyone's going to be like, you're wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's always someone.
I think it was Jim Carrey talking about this. He's like, when you become famous, you either have to fight to, like, remain and change for who you are, or you accept who people think you are and just be that character for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And so, like, I feel like if you ever act like that, like how you wanted to act, even if it was, like, blatantly crazy, like Alex Jones, you remain that character, and that's who people expect, and that's who you are, and that's how you make your money.
Well, there are some people that they're just them. You know what I mean? That have gotten famous off just... Bill Murray is like that.
Yeah, he's just a chill guy. And, you know, that's how he made himself.
Yeah, Adam Sandler is the same way.
Yeah.
They're just how they are.
Yeah.
He had, like, a really fucking downhill acting career for a while. You know what I mean?
Adam
like,
Sandler?
Yeah, he got, like, called, like, sexist and shit because he wanted hot girls in his video. And, like, I was like, well, you can't blame the guy. Like, what sells, you know?
Yeah, I mean, he was coming from a time period where that was fine, and he was incorporating his movies and making money, and then he kept trying to do it, and they're like, can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
You know?
Will Smith was, I had a lot of hope for him, and what's his girlfriend or wife's name?
Janet Pickett? Jenna Pickett?
Yeah. You know, until she, like, cheated on him with August. Is that his name?
Yeah, August Ames or something.
Yeah, I was just like, I wanted to, like, smash my face into the table. I was like, I would marry Will Smith.
Yeah.
Like,
I think it's, like, crazy because, like, say if Will Smith, you know, would have been the cheater.
Yeah.
It would have been looked at totally different.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, girl, why are you still with him? Like, you know, go be better.
And now they're like, forgive him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like, I don't know.
Or forgive her.
Yeah, there's like a double standard there, but also like, he's with her still. I don't know.
Yeah,
like
I would not be.
God, you say that?
No, I know that. I've done the whole. I've stayed with people when they and it always lingers. You know
it's in the back of your mind. Everything
they don't pick up your phone one time. You're like, oh, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And it's the worst feeling. And then you feel unappreciated. Like, I was dating this chick, dude, and while I was with her, she used to make me so mad, which I kind of miss because it gave me the best gym fuel. You know, like, I'm serious.
Gym and just rage
oh God, man, I was so strong when I was with her because she pissed me off, bro. I was like deadlifting next to like 500 pounds. I was like 475 at one point. I had some fucking thighs. But I was so angry, and I was like in such good shape. And I mean, I'm not an ugly dude, but I'm not like the handsomest. But I was way better looking than her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like looking back at her picture, like, damn, I'm fucking chiseled, and she looks like she's on drugs. And I like she cheated on me multiple times. I knew about it, and I was like, it's me. I'm not good enough. I'm not strong. You know what I mean? I'm not in the best shape. And like, it's definitely wasn't me.
Yeah,
like,
no.
Looking back,
that's so mentally bad for you.
Yeah.
God.
And then the people that were telling me to run away from her, I was like, you're wrong.
Yeah, you always make them feel bad, like they're pieces of shit.
Yeah.
And then like you finally like get away from that relationship, be like, damn, you did have the outside look. My bad.
Yeah. And it's weird because like I could never be the person to do that to someone else, but I wish I had like the power to do that. Like, you know what I mean? Like I could never like I don't think I can make people feel bad. I just don't like unless they're insulting me, then I insult back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I just don't have the way to like belittle people for no reason. Like, you know how people like just like talk down about like a certain group of people? You know what I mean? They're like, that people are like this, and it's like, no. No.
It's the worst. Even if like somebody's being a dick and I like be a dick back to him,
yeah.
I'm going home and thinking like sleeping, I'm like, damn, did I do the right thing? Like
I don't know, there are certain people in this world that I would people that stop at yellow lights. Fuck them.
Yellow means go faster.
Yellow means go faster. I have, like, you saw my truck out there, right? So, like, there have been multiple times in my life I've been swearing that the person in front of me, it's not like I've had a couple cars in my life and they'll stop. But, like, the person, like, oh, you're going to run that yellow light. And I'm like, oh, and like, I'm like, oh, no, you're stopping. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, oh, I will.
That's a big thing to fucking stop.
Oh, I was on the fucking belt line one day and I was driving the dump truck. And we're like, everyone standstill traffic over a hill. I was like, I stop. And the person behind me just nails me. And it's just a big metal bar in the back. They fucking totaled their car.
Does nothing to yours.
They're like, why did you stop so fast? I'm like, is it really, you're going to make this about me? Like, why?
It's your fault.
Why didn't you stop?
It's not like you're driving a small car you couldn't see stopping.
They're like, my car's totaled. I'm like, yeah, it is. Sure the fuck is totaled.
It's always your fault.
I also feel like that goes back to like warning labels and shit though. Like, you know what I mean? Everyone texts and drive. You know what I mean? But like, pick your moments. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, you're at a red light. You go real quick. You know what I mean? But if you're doing like 75 miles down the freeway, maybe this is not the best time.
Especially 5 o'clock traffic.
Yeah.
Everybody's swerving lanes. You just see somebody skirt.
Like, and the worst thing is you can tell your phone what to do now.
Exactly.
You can literally be like blah blah blah. You know what I mean? And like,
text.
Yeah. And it comes out a little funky sometimes, but hey. Normally I just tell people like,
dying.
And most cars these days, if a phone call comes, it comes right through the speakers. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you can send text with the new ones.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just hit the button.
What kills me is you got like these cops pulling you over, right? But they have a fucking full laptop, like sitting there, like going down the road.
Like how are you using this fucking thing? Like, oh yeah, I'm putting in your license plate, just driving.
Yeah.
Just for my knees.
Yeah. Yep, that's expired. We're pulling.
This person has a warrant on them. We've been going 75 on the highway the whole time. Like, what? How?
Yo, I saw like they did that run, the triathlon or whatever down in Glenwood the other day, and these horse cops, right? Their horses shit all in the middle of the fucking road.
And they just go.
And I was like, bro, if my dog shits in the wrong spot in front of my condo, I get a fine.
Yeah.
How did your horses shit in the road?
Because they're a cop. I don't understand why they have fucking horses. I got behind them in my car the other day, and they're just walking.
Yeah.
I couldn't pass them. I'm like, why?
Beep your horn.
Scared them.
Were they going to chase you?
Yeah, really. They're going to catch me. Shit.
So I worked at Brewmasters, which was right by, like, off of Martin and Dawson downtown, and there was like horse cops and bike cops. It's the middle of the city, you know what I mean? And they were doing like construction at the bottom of this hill, and there's maybe like a section half the size of this table that had like a 2-foot drop and had some traffic cones in it. And I don't know what this cop on his bike thought he was doing, if he thought he could clear it, but he fucking hit that thing going down that hill. He must have been doing 20 miles an hour, and he just went, and it was like, oh, I was like, oh, yeah, should I go help him? Like, yeah, he's fine. Like, call it in. Oh, fuck. What do you think? Should we keep going?
It's up to you. I mean,
let's try another 20 minutes.
Another 20? All right.
Yeah, what time is it? It's like 8:15. It feels so late.
Dude, this weather, God, they need to change that.
Yeah.
Daylight savings, like, it does nothing anymore.
No, it's
like,
ridiculous.
It was for farmers?
Yeah.
It is not.
Well, there's a state.
That doesn't even
Arizona.
change it.
They don't have a time change.
Yeah, I flew to them last year. So we went back for 3 hours, and then we went up 1 hour just to go over to Utah to go back another hour. It was like, God.
Utah is a weird place.
Oh, yeah.
Just in general. Mormons.
Mormons, yeah.
So I got sent to a brat camp in Enterprise, Utah when I was a kid.
Oh, that's where it was?
I was sent to a Mormon boarding school, and I was there all of 3 days before I was like, yep. First chance I get, I'm making a break for it, right? And bro, I got in a fight the second day, and like, in my defense, I had like blonde hair down to here, and like they kept calling me Sunshine. I'm like, yo, stop! I was like, stop that shit.
Pretty funny name.
Yeah, it is funny, but I didn't know any of these guys. You know what I mean? And like me being new. You know what I mean? I'm like 17 years old. I feel like older.
You're 17?
I'm like 17 years, 16 maybe.
At a boarding school?
Mm-hmm.
A year before you're 18.
Yeah,
that sucks.
Yeah, that's why they sent me. Long story. I ended up, first I was in a mental hospital, and then I went to a boarding school. I might or might not. I said, I will fucking end you, and that became a threat, and then down the rabbit hole I went. My mom paid a lot of money just to send me away, for me to run away. But I remember the second day, I was like, stop fucking calling me Sunshine. And we're in the fucking lunch line. I hope you fucking hear me. I remember your fucking name. I bet you remember this day. And as soon as he called me, I fucking grabbed the tray. I was like, wham! And I just fucking started swinging. I had no friends, so I just hit anyone that tried to grab me. So they like locked me in like the top part of this boarding school. It's like it's an old church, and like it was like a stained glass window, and it was like me, a bed, and they're like remorse, you know what I mean? And like you looked, so it backed up to a hill, and it was like a 3-story drop, but to the hill it was like a story and a half.
Yeah, it was a lot shorter.
So it was a beautiful. Oh, bro, it was like this great stained glass window. I fucking wedged my bed against the door so you couldn't open it. I fucking smashed that window out with a fucking thing. I stole shoes from one of the other kids, and they were like 2 sizes too big, so I laced them fuckers up, smashed that fucking window. I hit the ground, running, all bloody and shit. Took off running. I made it to the mall. Met these 2 kids. I like hid in their apartment for like a day, and then I went to Brigham Young College, right? Apparently my picture was blasted everywhere.
You were at a Mormon boarding school and went to a Mormon college.
So I had to get on the internet. This is back when Facebook was a thing. Because I didn't have a phone. I didn't have anyone's phone number. The only people I really knew my phone number was my mom. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I was trying to get to Facebook so I could like message somebody and like, hey, help. Right? Well, they found me in fucking the computer lab. And there's these 2 big fucking guys that like tried to arrest me. I'm 130 pounds soaking wet with bleach blonde hair, little skater kid. But boy, oh boy, they had to like fight for every. I broke one dude's nose with my head.
It's a wild animal.
Yeah, dude. I had to sit next to the guy. I broke his nose in the car, right? And they were like trying to rough me up a little bit. I mean, they did a good job fucking me up. They were way bigger than me. And they were like just driving me forever. I ended up in the Wawa Mountains where they dropped me off, which is like the wilderness school. Mm-hmm. And he's like, you broke my fucking nose. I'm like this. He jumped. I was like, bitch. Like, but you to beat me some more. I don't even care. You know what I mean? Like, whatever. I'm in your head now, motherfucker. Like, yeah, I was out in the wilderness for like almost like 90 days or something. 88 days. I think I was out there, like 3 or 4 months. But because of that, I know what stars are. You know, like I know how to like navigate my stars roughly. Like, don't put me on a boat and be like,
how we get back to London?
Like, yeah. I can make fire with sticks, figure 4 traps. I can trap small animals. Okay. I can make rope, like cordage. What else? I can make glue.
That's impressive.
It's really easy. It's like rabbit poop, tree sap, and charcoal. And I wouldn't use it to like glue things together.
Yeah, but
if you need to like make a knife or something, like chisel it up, perfect, man.
Wedge it into there with some glue. How were the stars out there?
Oh, fucking great. I was out.
That's what I love.
The Indian mountains, dude. And it's desert. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's wild horses, and you see them all the time. You know what I mean? It was hell the first month, but then by the second month, I kind of grew into it.
You started enjoying it.
And then by the 3rd month, I was like, damn. I'm really missing a good part of life. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And then I came back to society, and I wasn't right for like 6 months. Like there were things. Jesus. So like when you walked out into the wilderness, you would like if you had to go pee, you would judging by how long you've been there, what number you were. Like so like you were there like 3 days. You were like say there's 8 people, you're number 8. If you were there like 100 days, you were number 1. So you call your number when you're out in the wilderness in case something grabbed you. Like I'm out in line. Or also so you didn't run. So you're like 1, 1, 1. There were days I'd come back, I'd be like walking through the grocery store, I'd just be like 3, 3, and I'm like, what am I doing? Why am I yelling 3?
Yeah. Shit, that's crazy. Something like that, or kind of like, I wouldn't say mess you up, but like, got you mentally in that state.
Yeah.
Now just thinking about like people like in war, the people you know.
We drank from like cow troughs and shit. I ate rattlesnake when I was out there. It was wild. Did you ever hunt or camp?
Yeah, so I was actually in Boy Scouts.
Oh, that's right. I remember you did say that.
Yeah, so I did that for pretty much my whole life.
Did you get through the whole thing?
No. So
yes?
that's a sore subject for my mother. So if she ever sees this, she'll love this topic.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, so I did the Venture Scouts, which is like, they go to like, we went to like Key West and did sailing for 7 days on a boat. You know, hiked the Appalachian Trail. Or like part of like North Carolina.
That's really fucking cool.
Yeah, they went down to like Arizona desert, stayed out there under the stars. I forget which ones it was, but so I was part of that. But you know, that part cost a little bit of money, and so it was always like, we're gonna let you do this if you become an Eagle Scout. And then my rebellious ass, I literally was 1 merit badge and the project away. I was like, yeah, I'm not doing this. I'm playing baseball.
Do you ever think about going back?
Subject. You can't go back because you got to be 18 to finish it.
Oh.
So, like, honestly, now I'm like, yeah, I should have done it because it would have looked good.
What was the project?
It's whatever you want it to be. Like, build some park benches for a community center. You know, go hand out, like, food or start an event for handing out food for like the homeless people.
Oh,
so you just got to
cool.
run a project. Yeah.
What was the
Just, like, really
badge?
cool.
What was the last badge?
It was fucking
Baseball.
physical fitness.
Oh, what the fuck?
So what you had to do was like take down a 3 months worth of like activity you do and keep a log and like maintain that log and everything. And I would like start it and everything, and then I'd start playing video games. I was like, nah, this is fucking stupid.
Damn,
like,
Nick,
it was
like,
like,
you were so
and I did
close.
like the writing part and everything for it.
Yeah.
I went to like the camp during the summer and like did all like the stuff you needed for it. All I had to do was fill out that log. Just never did it. And I was 15 at the time. Like
No
I was
shit.
going to be like super early getting my Eagle badge.
No shit.
Yeah, like I was really good at this shit, and I was just like, no, fuck it, I'm all in baseball, and then.
Damn. Well, I finished my fucking brat camp. I was fucking highest in my class.
Oh yeah,
Like, hands down.
That was awesome. You guys did a lot more than we did ever. Like I could go out camping, start a fire, live a little bit. But when it comes to actually like,
So we got drops
your
every week,
food.
so it wasn't like we were like scavenging food. But it was like never saw any kind of. I burnt down houses, maybe a couple cars abandoned.
Jesus.
Every now and then you'll see someone drive by on a 4-wheeler or horse.
Yeah.
It's crazy because how close we like a homeless person in the city is to what I did. You know what I mean? It's not that far off. You know what I mean? But there are a lot to be said for like anyone that's never gone hiking or camping. You know what I mean? Like it is some tranquility.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And teamwork at that. You know what I mean?
Oh, very much teamwork. Like keep you sane at the very least. Like
you can't.
God.
What is it? What is it from Jungle to Jungle? Oh fuck, Mimi Siku.
What is that?
It's cat piss. They were giving each other Indian names.
Oh, okay.
And he's like, oh, can I say that? They were giving each other Washington football names. He's like, I give
Americans.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. That's wild, man. I forgot you were a fucking Boy Scout.
Yeah, no.
You ever think about going back and like teaching it?
So.
Or do you have to finish?
No, you can go back and teach it.
Mm-hmm.
So no, I didn't like the Boy Scout people that were in my troop.
Yeah.
Like they were all fucking annoying.
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons I didn't do it.
Did they have money? Because normally rich people that are in that shit are fucking obnoxious.
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
That was maybe.
Got
I just
the new
know they
Boss
were
Game
like
boots.
people that just didn't have anything else to do. Went there. I was
And
like,
you wanted
this
to
isn't
go
my-
do it? Yeah.
This is my group. So then when I joined the venture people, it was like all people like me, and I love that shit.
So that's a different thing than the Boy Scouts. Or
So
is it
it's like a
hand-in-hand?
subsection of the Boy Scouts. Like you gotta get invited, and
You had to get invited?
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
not like
so you had to
anybody-
get invited. You were one batch and a project away. You didn't finish?
Yeah.
Do you and your mom still argue about this to this day?
I try not to bring it up, but yeah, she'll make sly comments. It's great. I love it. I honestly, like, throughout my 20s, I'm like, yeah, you know what? She, like, made me stay in the Boy Scouts the whole time.
Yeah.
So I was always like, yeah, well, it's your fault for making me stay, but now I'm like, yeah, that was kind of shitty. Like,
Yeah.
what did I get? But, yeah, it is what it is now, you
You
know.
quit your job. You're like, you never finish anything, Nick.
I'm supposed to pay them back all the money they pay for me to go on, like, all these adventures and stuff. Haven't done that yet, but when I get rich, maybe.
How much were the adventures? How much do you think everything was total?
Oh, total?
Yeah.
It was a good amount. Like summer camp, like every
Over
summer.
10 grand?
It's probably close. Because, I mean, like, I literally started as, like, a Cub Scout, Tiger, and, like, went through... That was probably when I was, like, 6, and went through 16.
It was $54,000 to send me away.
Okay, no, it was not that.
My mom never paid it.
What?
She never paid it. They almost literally, like, kidnapped me, like, legally kidnapped me.
Because they were like, we're not giving you back?
Well, they had to make payments on it, right?
Uh-huh.
But like, my mom didn't have $54,000. She
Yeah.
was like, "Fuck you." Well, see, they wouldn't take me to the boarding school, so they were my guardians, legal guardians. So they stuffed me in that camp. So it's honestly, when you misbehave at the boarding school, even though I was the first one to ever break a stained window and fucking take off, I'm not the only one that ran.
But the first one to break a Jesus. Like,
the Jesus.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. So mom never paid it, but they weren't going to give me back to my mom.
That's so fucked.
And then
like,
every now and then I've been waiting for that phone call of like, we are calling you from Discovery Academy. Like,
oh god, You owe us $54,000.
It's probably not that high anymore, but I know that was a total.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I'm sure, I mean, if you're only out there 3 months, I mean, you're making
Well, the Brat Cat,
bi-weekly
like,
payments at most.
Yeah, the Brat Cat made sense because they had to pay for your food, your clothes, your sleeping bag. But that's pretty much all they give you. They didn't even give you a backpack. You had to make it out of tarp, seatbelt, and pack
that's
string.
ass. Having a nice backpack, life-changing.
You get it on your second to last tier that you're in there.
Fuck that. Fuck that.
I was there. They kicked all the guys out of my group. I was the only guy in my group. That's why I ended up finishing first in class because I got so sick of the bitches fighting. I was like, "This is what we're doing."
You're gonna listen to me.
Like I was like, "You are going to listen. I am alpha male here." There was a kid named John there with a little shaggy haircut. He's a sucker punching little motherfucker. And he hit me twice. Right. One time we were like in line. I told him to shut up. And he turned around, and clocked me right in the jaw. And I fell backwards. And before I even realized what to do, the counselor was
I was already there.
And I was like, okay, I'll fucking remember this. And like, I knew he was leaving soon, and we're at this fucking cow trough, right? And he was on one side, and the girls were over here, and the counselor was here. And I was just like slowly walked over there. And as soon as he leaned in to get that water, I fucking smashed his head in the water. I was like, I will fucking end you. Remember that, John? I bet you fucking do.
God, yeah, we had some fights in Boy Scouts like that. A lot of sticks, a lot of rocks. I took some kids out with rocks. I would say that. There was one time. So if you take, if you have bug spray, and, like you take like rubber bands or something and tie the nozzle on, you throw it in somebody's tent, and if you take like a match or
and
like
it's already on fire
and throw it in there,
oh boy!
And then the tent, obviously highly fucking flammable if you didn't know, dude. That thing catches on fire. You're like, they're like, who the fuck did this?
Yes.
There's some wild shit.
Warfare
dude,
shit.
No, it was like. It's intense. Like, you get out there
literally,
for a few
or
days,
lack of tents after you burn them down.
we were home. We went and got in the vans. Like, God. And honestly, yeah, you just kind of put out there, and it's just like, oh, yeah, you got 2 Scoutmasters and then 10 kids. Like, and
you could definitely overrun the Scoutmasters.
Yeah, 100%. It was a lot of shit went down.
I wonder if there's got to be a story of like some Boy Scouts tying up their counselors
because
they have to know knots. They definitely know knots.
No, we get taught knots.
Yeah,
a lot of knots. Yeah, no, there's got to be some wild shit.
They just left them out there. You ever heard of a guy named Mr. Ballin?
No.
So he's an ex-Navy SEAL, right? And he talks about like these horrible stories. They're all true stories. About people disappearing, people getting murdered. He's a super interesting guy. He's an ex-Navy SEAL and a diver. So he started out doing dive stories, and he talks about like people diving down in caves and they lost where they are. They ran out of oxygen, or
that's
you know what
scary
I mean?
as fuck, yeah.
But if anyone would find one, it's definitely him, man. I just listened to one to him the other day about this hiker that went up a mountain and fell down a ravine, and like it was like he couldn't get up this side, and on this side it was like a cliff, so he's stuck between 2 cliffs. And he died out there. And then exactly a year later, a couple fell down there, and they like found his note that because like, oh, I'm dead note. And like, oh my god, he's around here. And then they look at the date, the year, like, oh, a year ago. It's like, oh, he died. And they end up finding some matches and burning down a tree. And a helicopter came and found him. John Donner or something like that is the name of the guy that died. It was like 2006.
Jesus. That's crazy.
But that shit does happen. You know what I mean?
It's like that guy, 127 days or something.
The guy cut his arm off?
Yeah, could you do that?
Yeah, I guess so.
I feel like mentally you finally get to that point of like life or death. Like,
I feel like I've done worse things than cut my arm off in my life, to be honest. I've sold my soul a couple times. I don't know, man. Like,
it's tough.
I feel like one of the worst ways to die would be like exposure.
Oh God, yeah, just
like
being out in the sun and just no water, no food, just
and not dying, not dying.
Yeah,
like,
it's a slow.
And then to be stuck so where you can't kill yourself.
That so I hate being in positions where I can't move.
Like claustrophobic.
So like even like being claustrophobic, like if I can move a little bit, I'm fine. Like just twitch and stuff, but like getting like an MRI where you have to lay still and can't move at all, I start freaking out. Like that, nah.
That's got to be bad for you, that MRI. They're like behind these giant glass walls.
So like mentally, I'll prepare for it, but then like halfway, I'm like almost in tears. I don't know what it is. It's like,
but you could get out if you wanted to.
Yeah, they'll stop it, but then we have to go through the whole process.
Yeah,
and so like I'm mentally, like, I have to stay. I can't fucking move. Can't move. Yeah, it freaks me out.
What about cars? Don't bother you?
No, so I like I said, like even if I'm like trapped somewhere, like tight, and I can move. You're like fine. Just a little bit, just feeling my body move. Yeah. But it's when my body, like, I can't move it. It just like freaks me out. It's weird.
You're what's it? Spelunking? You ever heard of that? Like when you go like cave. I think you go caving.
Fuck no.
and they like squeeze through.
Nope.
And there's like caves like where if you wedge yourself in, you have to go because your rib cage.
Yeah, how it's built.
Yeah.
It will, like, yep. We did that. Well, we didn't do that in Boy Scouts, but we went in like caves like that, and they were like, yeah, our experts go through this way.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I don't fuck with caves.
No. Dude,
people are like, let's go down this mine shaft. I'm like, nope.
No.
That would be another horrible way to go.
God.
It'd be in the dark too.
Yeah. You don't know what's going on. It's so easy to get lost.
Mm-hmm. Oh, dude, not being able to move and dark, you're pretty much dead.
I'm banging my head.
Yeah.
It's just dead.
All right, so or eaten alive.
I
would
so I think eating alive wouldn't be too bad because you got that adrenaline pumping, and so like you got that fight or flight response. So you're not going to feel it. Granted, it sucks to see yourself just be like taken apart
mauled.
like that, but eventually it's going to be lights out, and you're not going to feel it. It's like getting your leg chopped off. You're not going to feel it for a little bit.
Have you ever seen what's the one with Leonardo da Vinci? No, that's the artist.
Ninja Turtle?
No. DiCaprio.
Reverend.
Yes, when he gets mauled by that bear.
Yeah,
that's actually like based on a true story too.
That actually happened.
And bears are omnivores. So they're opportunist eaters, and they'll bite you, let you like suffer, and they'll eat you alive. I think hyenas like that too.
Yeah, fucking psychos.
Yeah, fuck that,
dude. And bears are not small. Like,
yeah, I would. Would you rather fight a bear or a gorilla? There's no running from either of them.
There's no running.
You can't really climb a tree.
You can't climb a tree on both.
Have you
seen a bear get up a tree?
Oh yeah, they're
it's like physics doesn't exist.
Yeah,
1,000 pounds.
I guess it depends on what kind of bear too, because like
yeah,
I think they say grizzly bears are like really aggressive. But I think more people die from black bears.
Oh really?
I can't remember if that's. I could be wrong.
Black bears are a lot smaller. But grizzly bears
fuck either one of them.
Polar bears are the scariest.
I think
those motherfuckers are king.
Moose will fuck you up too. I think the most deadly animal in the world, surprisingly enough, do what?
Meese.
I think it's hippopotamus.
Oh yeah, no, that's the most deadly animal in the world.
And it's wild.
I think it's like a shark on land.
Yeah,
like,
and they run like 30 miles an hour,
and their jaw is like worse than the jaws of death.
Yeah,
just rip open a corridor like it's nothing. Like,
yeah, fuck that.
Those things are scary as fuck.
I think. Honestly, I would rather fight a hippopotamus on land, no, than a bear on land.
God.
Now in the water, I'm fucked. I don't really fuck with things in the water. I don't like sharks.
Nah, you can't win in the water.
Yeah,
those things that live in the water,
they live in the water.
They live in the water for a reason. Like we don't.
Well, I'd be down with swimming with sharks.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like
I want to do that.
I think that'd be pretty cool. You know, in the right environment with people around me. But if I was like paddling out on a surfboard and like one flipped up beside me, have you seen on fucking YouTube since drones have been out, they fly over the ocean,
yep.
And people are just like hanging out, and there's like a fucking 8-foot hammerhead like swimming
just
right by your feet,
near them,
and you're like, yo,
they don't notice at all.
Not a clue.
Scary as fuck.
You think you're always like within like 100 yards of a shark when you're in the Atlantic Ocean? Like, no, absolutely not.
Yeah, when I was in Costa Rica, we found like this kind of secret spot with these waves, and we went out. And it was weird because, like, you know, you get the beach and everything, but it had this little canal that went into, like, this big kind of, like, pond area. Mm-hmm. Well, we had to start a little bit in that pond area because the current was, like, really rough and, like, swim out. Because there was, like, a day when a storm was coming, so the waves were great. You know, we get kind of stuck in that little canal and we finally make it out. You know, the waves took us back to that canal. Kind of repeats itself. Well, by the time we get out of the canal and stuff, we're walking around it and get to that little pond area. There's a big sign. It's like, there's saltwater alligators all in here. Stay out. And we're like how close were we to those motherfuckers? Yeah,
all the time.
That's just scary as fuck.
I feel like alligators wouldn't be as bad though because they have like the thing, if you hold their mouth shut they can't open it.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
But if they get you on that mouth.
Yeah. And like sharks, you have to like bop them on the nose.
Yeah, see, I'd rather fight a shark than an alligator.
Yeah?
I think so.
Yeah, I guess
unless it's like a mega shark.
Yeah. But I don't think like the big, like, you're not really like a shark's target. I think there's a couple of them that like really fuck with you, like bull sharks will fuck with you.
Yeah, like tiger shark. I mean, they'll eat you just to eat you, but like, yeah, most sharks, I mean, they taste you, they don't like you.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, could you imagine like if there was something in the sky that was like that?
we would be a different species. We'd be living underground. Speaking of caves, we'd be cave people.
Like what if there was a sky shark?
You mean Sharknado?
Yes.
Like, how do you? We wouldn't be like we are today.
Yeah, like dragons. Dragons would like not even fire-breathing dragons, but just dragons.
I can just scoop you right up.
Yeah,
like we would not be the species we are.
No,
today
absolutely not.
We would still be
resilient.
So apparently, back to the whole evolution thing. When dinosaurs died, we were like rats. We're not technically rats, but like that were living in the ground.
Yeah,
and that's how like our genetics survived there, and then that evolved, to monkeys.
Yeah,
and then
the first one was to climb a tree.
Yeah,
and then
yeah, and so we would still be those things if there was something in the sky like that.
I think it's interesting to study everything, even if it's bullshit. Like I studied the flat Earth for a little bit, just cause.
Oh yeah, I watched documentary on it, and
do I believe I question everything? You know what I mean?
You have to.
If the Earth was flat, I would be surprised, but I wouldn't be like, I didn't see that coming. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't be completely blown away.
Yeah. Well, the thing about the flat Earth though is like you yourself can go do the mathematics with the sun, how it's on the sky, and with the angles and everything. You can yourself figure out that it's not flat.
But take this for instance, right? So you just went and saw Dune, right? Crazy good CGI, right? And he was like, why aren't we fixing everything? What if we're an experiment and we're just on like a bowl on a dome and everything's CGI'd?
What about the people that went to space?
Maybe they're part of the experiment. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm not saying. I am not personally saying.
I'm just asking.
But there's a lot of like big like if it could be done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could take a group of people right now and stick them in a capsule and tell them they're going to space and shake it a lot, right? You know what I mean? And then pretend they're in space and give them scenery around them, and then like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they would believe it.
100%. Like it would be, it's like conspiracy theories. It's just like a wildfire, and if you start something late enough,
someone's gonna see this shit, and someone's gonna like find me. Like, you know
what's going on. We talk about like Freemasons. We talk about fucking space, flat Earth.
Bro.
Like we're in the dome getting shook up.
I think it's the funnest shit to talk about though, because it's like we don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Things that we know about, it's interesting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like we can form opinions on, but the things we don't know, we can never make opinions on because we don't know.
Make up whatever. But one of my things is like I'm a huge space nerd.
Yeah.
And so like flat earthers, that's one area I'm like, okay, just stop there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, how do you feel about there being life on other plants then?
On other plants?
Planets.
No,
sorry, I'm drunk.
You think this is water? That's Tito's. Oh no, I really hope so. Like I definitely think there are, because there's these things called like tetrabites that can survive pretty much any condition. They've been seen
like bacteria.
Yeah, pretty much as small as bacteria. Like they could survive when the Earth explodes.
What about like intelligent life?
And that's the thing. Like I think it's very, self-centered, selfish to say we're the most intelligent thing in life. But I think Neil deGrasse Tyson said it really well. He's like, the difference between us and like apes/monkeys, or they're smart enough. The smartest ones are able to draw art, and that's only 1% of difference between our brain and theirs. And that 1% allows us to put satellites in space.
Yeah.
They're not able to see those satellites and everything that we do in space.
Clue.
They have zero clue. So, like, say there's a species like us, 1% smarter than us. What can they do that we're not even able to recognize? Yeah. And I really think there is intelligent life. I mean, there's more...
1%'s a lot when it's against zero.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Against it. And, there's more galaxies in the universe than there are grains of sand on Earth. And
that 1% can go either way. Even like 99 to 100%, that 1% is a lot.
It's a lot.
You know?
Yeah.
Have you so there's two sides of that. I don't know what would be scarier, right? Finding another civilization that's more advanced than us.
Yeah.
Right? Or there not being anything. Yeah.
It's all quiet.
And it's just us.
Yeah.
And those two things, that is a mind fuck. You know what I mean?
It's a huge mind fuck, because it honestly is super hard to even be alive right now.
Yeah.
Not even like getting in a car crash type stuff, but like an asteroid, be able to form the Earth,
COVID.
Yeah, COVID. The sun being that distance where we get that heat. That
was it the Goldilocks zone? What the fuck's it called?
I know
it's something like that. We're in like the ideal spot, and there's only like one or two other planets that they've found. They're like way out there that have like another sun or like a star.
Well, within our galaxy, yeah.
And it's crazy because like everything on our planet lives off of like air, or not air, but like sunlight and water. You know what I mean? Maybe on a different planet don't.
It's something else, and
You
it's
know what
not
I mean?
like carbon. I forget what number carbon we are. It's another carbon base which can survive all. It's like diamonds.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
You know, it'd
that'd
be even
insane.
scarier if we found another planet that had humans just like us on it.
That's very possible.
You know what I mean? That have like the same kind of civilizations. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That would be freaky because it's
Yeah.
like, bro, like maybe they eat with their armpit or something.
Well, I mean, you got to think like, say dinosaurs didn't die by the asteroid.
Mm-hmm.
Say an asteroid never hit. What would they have evolved into?
Yeah.
You know, like
Well-
they would not have evolved into us, would they have?
So it's crazy you say that, and like, my favorite thing ever when I was a kid growing up was Ancient Aliens, and
That's
my fucking then they'd be like ancient alien scientists say no, and I'm like, what are those? Who are they? Where do you
They
get this
know.
degree? So it's been brought up a lot too, and I think it's very interesting. I don't want to like say it's not true, but there are like cave paintings of what look like dinosaurs. So maybe a couple of them did make it through. You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
not saying like there's like a T-Rex running around, but what if there was like, I don't know, like a Stegosaurus that made it through?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like one or two. And then in the early 90s and 80s, this guy, they said there was like a Brachiosaurus in the middle of this village, and he actually went to go find it and got lost in the jungle. He does a whole thing about it. I can't remember his name. But like, it's weird because like, they drew it on caves, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
they find bones and imagine what it looked like, you know what I mean? Or are these just fucked up looking bisons that they drew?
Yeah, it's hard to find a whole set of bones and put them together and be like, you know, this is what
Yeah.
it looks like. So I mean, ancient alien type things. You see that on like the pyramids, you know, not just like the African Egyptian pyramids,
Yeah.
but then the Mexican I can't think of their name.
Aztecs.
Aztecs pyramids type drawings. They're all very similar, so it's questions I ask.
The other crazy thing is like, speaking of like flat Earth, I like the hardcore Bible people. They're like, dinosaurs aren't real.
I dated a girl like that.
Did you
We
really?
went to we lived in Wilmington, but we came here for Raleigh for family shit and went to the Natural Museum of Art or whatever, and they had the huge.
Did she have like a breakdown and say these are fake?
Yeah, she was like, "Yeah, I don't really believe." You know, I went to a Catholic school. I was like, "Wait, what? You know what? No, this is we see a huge skeleton right
Yeah.
here. Like, I mean, you watch Land Before Time, you don't really
like
believe
maybe like 3/4 of it isn't all the bones. It's like
Yeah.
all made back. But like, come on,
this is
now.
not a human bone.
Like, you have to believe something became extinct.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's evidence of an asteroid hitting and
Yeah.
fossils everywhere. Like,
But you know, it's weird because like the biggest land animal I think right now is like the elephant. I want to say
yeah,
it's got
I
to be
think
the
so.
elephant.
Yeah.
And like the biggest water mammal is like
Blue
the
whale.
whale or something like that. And those things are huge.
They're massive.
You know what I mean?
The size of a heart.
If you go to the museum here, they have one hanging, and it's
Oh, really?
monstrous, and it's not even like a full grown one. And like you talk about like I think they said like Brontosaurus was like 80 feet long. You know what I mean? And that's like at least it's 15
like,
of me.
you can't
I can't even fathom like something that
how
big.
big it is. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's as long as a village.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they just, man, I want Jurassic Park to come through so bad.
Oh, you're crazy.
Oh man,
You're crazy.
there are literally 3 movies on why we should do it. Like,
Well, what's crazy is like, yeah, they can kind of resemble, say, you know, they got a T-Rex. You get the bones and everything, but they don't know what the skin looked like. Sure, it could have been a T-Rex, and it's all feathers.
yeah,
It's like-
and we don't know the colors
Yeah,
because
You
they
mean, like-
think lizards. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they do know this, right? They do know they laid eggs, so they were a reptile.
they had the same
Or
kind
a
of,
phaisant, I guess, lays eggs too.
yeah. I
'cause
mean, you
birds-
got a platypus.
Yeah.
Bunch of a huge
Can
platypus.
you imagine being the first motherfucker that found that?
Dude, like, what the
You're
fuck?
like, yo, what is that? And
It's
like,
a mammal with a duckbill that lays eggs.
yeah,
Like, that lives underwater, but it also can
it's got a
walk.
fucking beaver tail too.
Yeah, like,
Look, I'm not like saying there is a god, but if there is a
that's
god,
the joke.
like there's a couple animals on this earth that he had to be like a chihuahua, like the head's bigger. Yep, make it defenseless.
But make it the most aggressive dog there is.
Or it only attacks ankles.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, man. Or a spider. Yeah, give it 8 legs.
He likes And 8 eyes. And it shoots white stuff from its ass. Like, there you go. Have fun, kids.
Oh, yeah. Humans? Oh, yeah. I got you. You know what we're going to do? We're going to make this one bleed once a month. And it's going to go crazy that week.
Get in dangerous territory.
Oh, men, we're going to jack up that testosterone. You're all just going to kill each other.
You're give them this thing called religion. They're gonna have holy
but
wars
we're
in
not
my
just going to
name.
make one.
No.
We're going to make hundreds.
All my friends are involved.
Oh, wait. What's this? I'm just going to make a pyramid out of sand. Who did that? No one knows. Oh, dinosaurs? They never existed.
They're gone. I
It's
didn't
like
them.
deleting a project.
Yeah.
But
delete.
But you like still have remnants of it. Like you have like 5 save copies, or leaving your TV screen on a
Get
game
the
and it
rough
burns.
These motherfuckers are ugly. We gotta try something else.
Well, look at fucking Komodo dragons, man. Like those are dinosaurs.
No, they really
They're
are.
fucking dinosaurs, dude. They're huge, right? And they're poisonous. Well, I guess they're not poisonous. They bite you and they have like bacteria that'll kill you. But like.
Yeah, they got a bunch of motherfuckers in Costa Rica.
Alright, so back to like flying sharks. Could you imagine a Komodo dragon with fucking wings?
Yeah, we wouldn't be here. We would not be Apex.
I think we'd be alright because they couldn't be everywhere. Do you think us as humans would try to take them all out?
Oh, we would have to.
Would we if they just stayed in places? You know what I mean?
If like they had like, say like the whole dragon lore, like they have their area, and they sleep in their area and feed around, but they don't go anywhere else really. If they did that, I think maybe we'd leave them alone.
Imagine all the tourists that would go there. They wouldn't care.
Oh, dude. Social media? Oh, I'll take a picture of Komodo dragon.
Scream with
feed
me!
gets picked up. It's just phones on the ground watching them just fly off.
You ever see Skull Island with like, all those fucking guys?
Yeah.
I feel like if that was a real place, people would die, like, go there for tourist shit and die
Oh,
all the
100%.
time.
Like,
100%.
they would not come back.
People are so fucking dumb. Dude, this right here has gotten so many people killed. The people on the Segway, people playing Pokemon Go have died.
Pokemon.
You know
Just
what I mean?
being on their phone, yeah.
Like, I've almost hit multiple people downtown. I hit a guy on a bicycle once. Fucking creamed him.
Was it your fault?
Yeah, 100%. Well, no, not really. It was his fault. I was driving down the road playing. I was playing D&D, and I had my buddy was sitting next to me, like we were playing D&D through my headset or through my truck thing. And I'm going down Hillsborough Street. I'm doing maybe like 3 or 4 over the speed limit. It's like 25 miles an hour. And my truck takes up the road. Like it, don't like it, whatever. Right? And this fucker flies out in front of me. And I guess he thought I was going to hit the brakes, but I sure the fuck was not. He hit my tire, and he hit like a car off to the side and hit the ground. He's like, bro, you just hit him. I'm like, yeah, I did. He's like, aren't you going to stop? I was like, yeah, he's alright. I saw him like picking up his bike, and like, he's fine. I'm like, he learned a lesson that day. Like, you know what I mean?
Still fucking going blind.
And I'm sure he thought that was my fault, but
what are you gonna do? Like, was it a crosswalk?
No.
You can't even ride a bike across a crosswalk.
I don't think you're supposed to ride them on the sidewalk anymore.
No, I hate fucking bikes in the street.
But I know for a fact that you shouldn't pull out in front of a truck.
You should never pull out in front of anything on a fucking bike. Like, if you think somebody in this metal big ass thing is going to stop for your stupid ass,
when I ride my motorcycle, I am the most like aware person at all times. I always like if I don't know the color of the car behind me, I'm like, oh, that's what I try to do. I try to remember the color of the car behind me. Oh, yeah. And if I look at my side view, it's a different color. Then I'm like, oh, I need to start watching behind me. Like I always know what's around me. For that reason, because I'm sure, like, I never pull out in front of anybody.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so, like, it's like, oh, I could have that. I'm like, nah, it's not. That's not. What if I get a hiccup in my gas or something like that? Like, you know, what if I slide a little bit? Like, fuck.
Yeah. No, my grandma actually used to say, when I first started driving with her, she'd be like, yeah, I mean, you can wait, a second or two, or you can die in a second or two.
Yeah.
So I've always kind of tried to live by that. So
yeah.
I can't even imagine. I've never been on a bike, but yeah, I'd be the same way.
It's funny, though, because I've had a couple, like, sport bikes, and you feel above.
Oh, I'm sure.
Everybody.
I feel like it's so easy just to fit into places.
You just, like, squeeze through people, like, and the fact, I had an R1 that could literally go from, like, 0 miles an hour to 130 before you could sneeze. And like, whoop, whoop, whoa, and you'd be gone, you know what I mean? Like, and, like, that made it so bad for me, because I made it from here to Wilmington in, like, an hour and some change one day. But it was, like, 4 in the morning, and there was no one on the road.
That's my favorite time to drive.
And, like, I had my headphones in, and I was just, whoa! You know what I mean? Like, like 130 out on that bike was nothing. It was just like, it was like doing 60 in a car, which makes it that much scarier.
See, that's why I could never have a bike. I would die.
Get a slower one. You should, you really
I definitely want one.
Right. Should get one this winter.
This winter?
Yeah, it was really cheap during the winter.
Oh, that's true. I could think about that.
I got pissed.
Yeah, I do too.
Let's call it.
This is the end. It's great, kids.
All right.
Breaking the fourth wall.